Hey guys, Dell here from Dell's Rigging and Crane Tips. Good morning. It's the 30th of the 4th, 2018, end of the month. Start of the week though. You gotta walk into that smoker room, put your balls on the smoker table, let all the other people know that there's a new sheriff in town. You're the best, or you're gonna be the best. You gotta start looking the part. You gotta start looking like a crane driver. Maybe grow a beard, do a moustache, put a whistle around your neck. I don't know. Start looking the part. Start being professional. Start doing the right things. Don't take any shortcuts, man. Always do your paperwork. Set your crane up right. Set it up properly. You want to make it in this industry? People got to know that you're a professional, that you always do stuff the right way. You want to get on the bigger cranes, you got to start doing that. Because your supervisors, your bosses, they'll be looking at you and go, oh, well, he doesn't do things the right way on these smaller cranes. Why the fuck should we put him on these bigger cranes? And that's what they'll say. And you'll find yourself on a 10-tonner for the rest of your life. So start doing things the right way. Take your time, be patient, set the crane up. There's nothing worse than being in a crane and you think, oh man, I wish I took my time setting up because I'm not sure now. I don't know if this outrigger's going to punch in the ground or not. Nothing worse, man. Take your time, be professional. Start taking yourself seriously, man. Take yourself seriously. You want to drive those bigger cranes? Walk right up to your boss and say, hey, I want to drive that 400-tonner. Look him in the eyes. Don't laugh. Take yourself seriously. I done that once, man, and it worked. The next week, I was on this 400-ton, the brand new one. I walked up to the supervisor. I said, hey, man, I want to drive that crane. I looked him in the eyes and I was serious because I started taking myself seriously. Start taking yourself seriously, man, and you get somewhere. Sometimes you got to quit places, man. Sometimes you'll be at a company and they won't advance you. Maybe you just got your crane ticket and you've been rigging for the last 10 years and you want to jump in the cranes and they just won't let you do it, man. They just want you to stay in that same position for the rest of your life. So you got to leave. Sometimes you just got to leave and you got to go to another company to get that position. But anyway, what I want to talk about today is muddy ground conditions, muddy, wet, soft ground. A little tip I've got. When you set up the timbers on muddy, wet, soft ground, don't set them up. Don't set them up all stuck together. What I do is I put a gap, probably 2 to 3 inches gap between each outrigger pad, each timber. So I've got timber, gap that big, timber, gap that big, timber, gap that big. If you're doing 4 timbers or 5 timbers, you want a big spread. Timber, gap that big, timber, gap that big, timber, gap that big. Now what this does, and you might be thinking, oh, what? I always have my timbers all close together. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but crane drivers have this thing where they think all the timbers have got to be close together. Well, they don't. If you have a gap this big and you have a timber across your bottom timbers, the amount of pressure for that to crack or anything like that would be like a zillion ton, and it would have to be on that point. So you can have gaps in your outrigger timbers, you can. But what it does is it squeezes up the mud in between the gaps and the excess water, gets all the excess water out, and it gives you a solid foundation. If, for example, you put a hiking shoe on, the hiking shoe, does it have a flat sole or does it have jagged edges? So it can go into the mud and give you a steady foundation for your body. It's the same with this technique. You put gaps in between the outrigger timbers, brings the mud up in between, and it sets it solid. And it sets it up good for your foundation. Try it next time you're in muddy things. You'll see the mud come up in between the gaps of the timbers. You'll see the excess water get out of there. And also when you lay your timbers on top of those bottom layer of timbers, it will actually help it level it out a bit. Say you're not as level as you'd hope to be. Maybe you're like this. Well, if the top one gets pushed down first, it'll level itself out to the other ones. If they're all stuck together, they'll be like a slippery sole, which slips over in shoes. In logging, when they make a logging skid, where the excavators go, they put the old logs down in the mud with a gap in between them, a foot gap in between them. And what that does, it gives you a steady foundation to go across with the excavator every day. I don't really need to explain this, but just try it. And it does give you a better foundation for your outrigger timbers and for your outrigger. Little 2-inch gaps, 3-inch gaps in between each outrigger. It works. It's a better foundation. It gets the mud involved to sort of trap everything in and hold everything in together. It really works. So that's the tip today. Little gaps in between your outrigger pads when you're setting up. And they'll get you going. They'll get you looking professional. They'll get you onto that 100-tonner, that 400-tonner. You know you want that. Take yourself seriously and have a good start to the week. I'm away up north, so I might do a couple of videos up there. Might do I need to do a few more scaffold ones. So have a good start to the week, and we'll be speaking soon.